Okay, enough mixing about with the audio setup and crap. So I'm gonna do a user test of the Kickstarter page using a Tobii eye tracker. It's not attached, so it might be off, but who knows. Yeah, no feedback. Not live. It's a draft. 45,000. What? Canadian dollars. No, 60,000 Canadian. That's why it's such a weird number. And am I signed in? I'm signed in. Why isn't it in like euros or something more related to Europe? I don't know. That's on Kickstarter. Let's watch the trailer. That's usually what happens first. Starts immediately pretty loud. Is that actually from the beginning? It's like no fade in. Makes me think of G-Police, the old PlayStation game. Obviously I've seen most of this before. Probably some new things. I do enjoy gunplay. That is now a small text on my screen.
Hi, I'm Blair Renault, Creative Director and CEO of Iris VR Inc. I'm a 23-year veteran of the games industry, having worked on titles from the Grand Theft Auto series to Quarantine and more recently Technolust, the critically acclaimed Rift launch title that was funded right here on Kickstarter by backers like you. It's time for VR to fulfill its promise, to bring the cyberpunk dream of slipping a headset on and stepping into a fully realized world to reality. The time for tech demos and mini-games is over. We want the VR we were promised, the VR we deserve. It's my sincere pleasure to bring you my dream of the future, something I've been imagining since I was a child. The reason I started my career as a game developer over 23 years ago. A deep, immersive virtual world where you are truly free to play the way that you want. Enter Lo-Fi, the spiritual successor to Technolust, a deep, open-world sandbox experience for Steam VR, Oculus Home, and Windows Mixed Reality headsets. More holodeck than game. You are Lo-Fi, the street name given to those who cannot merge with the platform. A ubiquitous virtual reality simulation where most of the population now live their lives. You are a police officer that has recently transferred to a particularly crime-ridden section of City Block 303. The only inhabitants of note in your jurisdiction are other Lo-Fi, and human intelligence or below artificial life forms that have remained among the citizens after the AI singularity. The Lo-Fi world is already massive, many detailed and lived-in locations to explore. You can patrol the skies of City Block 303 and walk the streets from New Kowloon to the seedy downtown club district. But we need your help to take it to the next level. In the last 6 years, we've learned a lot about VR, from comfortable locomotion methods to what makes compelling VR interactions. We're applying all of that to Lo-Fi. We'll be supporting all of the major PC VR headsets and control schemes, including HOTAS controllers for flight sim enthusiasts, and the latest high-end hardware like the Valve Index. We've gathered an all-star team of developers, artists, and writers from the VR world to help bring this dream to reality. With the funding from backers like you, we can hire top talent for things like voice acting, animation, and music. It's time to bring VR to the next level.
Didn't have time to read the disclaimer. This is a repeat, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know if repeating is good or bad. I can just react to it actually happening, and then it's like, yeah, that's the thing. Well, it looks gorgeous. Um, Interesting. What's it called? Scenario. Um, which is like sci-fi trope, the the split between people that can afford to live their existence in VR and those who can't. Uh, Pretty reminiscent of the current consumer market for VR. But that's probably not that much about affordance at this point. So it uses American dollars here, and all the pledges are in Canadian dollars. Why, Kickstarter? Why do you do this? It's confusing. Um, what would I usually do? I would go directly for the pledge levels and check where do I get the game. 35 Canadian dollars. That seems pretty nice. I'm awfully cheap buying games nowadays because I buy a lot of games, then play 1% of them. Yeah, very nice. Um, I would be going for the Steam key to play in the Valve Index. Haven't cared about desktop wallpapers in probably 15 years. I mean, themed ones. Or what should I say? Belonging to a franchise. I have collected wallpapers for more than a decade, but they're all generic fantasy and science fiction backgrounds. Nothing that belongs to anything I know. Mostly environments, but yeah, that's just me. Uh, Immediate access development builds is interesting, but I also know from almost half a decade of VR testing that if I try something out in beta, I am less likely to actually play the finished product unless the beta was very compelling. But that might be true about playing the full game as well. I don't know. But I've tried so many games where I ended up never playing the full release. Maybe I just play it enough so I'm happy and move on, even before it's complete. The thing I would look after for next is how do you get your name in the game? Uh, I missed that in the gallery. Naming credits, $100. Shit. Oh yeah. Sadly, when the gallery had their Kickstarter, I think I was out of a job, so I was very reserved when it came to spending money on it. I actually hesitated even backing the Oculus Kickstarter for a week. Then I couldn't. Then I dug into my savings. Spirit Access has such a critically acclaimed Technolast. Next generation virtual simulation. Story. I'm not really bothered about the story. I'm more interested in like, I guess the story is a part of the setting, but the setting is like interesting, but I take most of that from the imagery. And then in VR titles, I'm mostly concerned with what types of interactions will be possible. Robosexuality has been outlawed. What? Lo-fi lovers for Thundercat. Why? No, okay, let's see. So it wasn't just this paragraph. Uh, and human intelligence or below artificial life forms who have remained among the citizens after the AI singularity. I don't know what the AI singularity means. Does that mean that we convert ourselves into AIs, but then are we actually AIs? I don't know. I just know the singularity. I don't know what the AI singularity is. Uh, are we all living inside the AI, maybe? Does that make sense? Is the AI the VR world? Hmm. Uh, is crime happening? You're the law. What's your idea of fun? Plenty to keep you occupied. Uh, Officially, almost everything the lo-fi do is a crime. What? Oh yeah, okay. Meme packs, hacking ad boards to show the dissent, CryptoKids hijacking everything with the CPU for monetary gain. Maybe you can get a piece of that. You could use the extra creds. It's rough out there, but there's still fun to be had. Visit the arcade, maybe the casino, shake somebody down. Uh, a lot of dots here. This makes me think that uh, like it makes me think that this hasn't been thought through completely because then it would just be a straight off statement. Now there's dots. I mean, I usually do that also in conversation, but in written text it's a bit weird. There's a lot of dots all over the place. Ellipsizing, no, not really, but thought dots. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. I mean, these kind of work in a storytelling kind of way, but at the end it feels like yeah, I don't know. Things are left unsaid, obviously. That's the impression I get. Uh, Please clunkers. Yeah, those look pretty funny. Uh, Massive open world sandbox style adventure. I haven't really been a fan of sandboxy stuff. They're fun to explore, especially with a friend, but otherwise, I know the first GTA game, I was like, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? Uh, so I guess I'm low on motivation. I do love to explore games, but then all I do is explore. I don't actually take on voluntary missions. I just keep exploring. So, so I guess I explore the environment, but not the available missions. Yeah. Emphasis is on exploration and character-driven stories, like a holodeck program. The player is free to explore the city, further narratives, or just hang out in the arcades and back alleys to spending their hard-earned credits. Moral gray areas can be explored via player choice in most situations through actions or dialogue trees. Dialogue trees in VR? Maybe. I don't think I've actually experienced that in VR yet. Uh, you can, for example, choose to take a bribe rather than arrest a criminal, or even frame a third party for personal gain. Who's going to stop you? Free to fly around your entire jurisdiction, section 303. credits are awarded during your shift for both time and for duties, busts, etc. Credits can be used at black market shops, dark web delivery systems, vending machines, etc. A lot of etc's, or at least two, in close proximity. For anything from ship upgrades to bribes or just some decorations for your capsule apartment. Yeah. There's another video. This makes me think of I just played No Man's Sky. I used the ship in that and felt really bad, which is surprising considering how much VR I've done over the years. But it might be a combination of, I don't know, bad frame rate and... What is that? What? That looked really weird. Your ad here! It's a nice Hoover vehicle. That feels very classical. Some nice audio going on. And apparently... Did I pause? Keep moving my mouse with my eyes. I think it's a feature I forgot to turn off. I don't know when it happens. Yeah, if I click, it moves my mouse to where I'm looking. Or as close as you can. Seems my internet is broken. Really? Oh, crap. Non-linear open world, hundreds of crimes and stories to solve. Hundreds? Sounds a bit ambitious. I'm tired because I had people over yesterday. Like holographic overlays or whatever, HUD elements have seemed pretty nice so far, like the scanning and stuff. 3D positional audio! Hooray! There's not enough of that. Photorealistic NPCs, procedural markets with thousands of purchasable item possibilities. Thousands? I mean, if you have items with like randomized properties, that would make for thousands. Otherwise, it seems insane. But yeah, I guess. I think procedural makes me raise an eyebrow because procedural can be either. I mean, depending on the building blocks that are used when doing procedural stuff, it can turn into variety, or it becomes random. And anything that seems just random does not motivate me in exploring because what's the point? There's no designer thought behind this. But for stuff like random loot in games, which has... I'm sitting on the floor. I'm too old for this. Random loot with random properties can always turn out pretty fun. Obviously, a lot of it will be garbage, but that's where you get the motivation. You want to find the good stuff. Played a lot of Diablo in the past. Augmented reality within virtual reality. That will probably be the most augmented reality experience I will have until there's an actual AR headset out that is compelling and affordable-ish. AI companions, biological and synthetic. Biological AI companions. That's interesting. I guess we have constructed like biomechanical drones. Hmm. Sounds a bit creepy. Gunplay is optional. It does make me wonder. How, it has looked good in videos that I've seen on Twitter. So I have additional information that might not be here. I don't know. Or maybe it's here. But if it's optional, will it actually be like polished and working well, or even make sense? I don't know. Arcade minigames. 90% of development time. I don't know. To me, arcade minigames feels like a detraction from the actual game. Um, like, I guess it depends on how complex they are. Yeah, there we go. It's playing character examples. That's a headset, right? It wasn't a hole. Keep looking at the eyes to see if they move their eyes. There's so many characters nowadays that don't move their eyes. Or nowadays, everydays, since forever. Static eyes is a quick way to make something feel static or dead. She has robotic limbs. Huh. That's exciting. Locomotion and comfort, which is obviously a huge topic forever in VR. We've already implemented many locomotion options and comfort mechanics. Ship flight sections have various tunneling options. That might be a good idea, actually. I thought I would be fine in No Man's Sky because cockpit, but that wasn't enough, which is a surprise. But I think in No Man's Sky it has a lot to do with the horizon, because I know in titles that have had a static horizon but it's tilting has made me nauseous, which surprised me, but it's a fact. So that's happening. Fast or slow, smooth turning, snap turning. In many games that have snap and smooth turning, there is no off option. So for us that enjoy a 360 tracking experience, we get the accidental snap turning and get disoriented and do it by mistake, losing track of our target, etc. Having an off option is very appreciated. Smooth walking, thank you. Teleport, also thank you. Zoom teleport, which I guess is dash teleport, which I guess is all the other kind of nomenclatures for teleporting. I prefer that 100 times above Fade to Black teleporting or Blink teleporting, because Fade to Black, for one, is a contrast. If you're in a bright scene, the contrast shift is quick and and harsh, so it leads to quick, rapid eye fatigue in my case. Also, it disorients me because imagine just it's not that hard to teleport by mistake, and then you don't know which direction you moved in. You don't know if maybe the teleport includes the turning, so your turning feature. It gets confusing fast, especially for a person like me with terrible sense of direction. So first, to not have any artificial turning, so I know that if I turn that way, that is always that way. And having the zoom teleport means I actually observe the transition. which helps a lot in keeping track of where I went and from where. I beg for it in every game I play, that if they have fade to black teleport, please add a dash option. It's the same transition time. It's just a different thing to do. I played Red Matter and they had both. They had normal teleport with fade to black and dashing with fade to black. So it was almost pointless. That's something I told them in their forums. There's no title for this. I guess it's a locomotion video. This looks like Kinect tracking dots. That's a bit bigger. So this is smooth walking, I guess. Or is this an environmental showcase? I think this is the fetish club. But it doesn't really title the video, right? Or is it a video for this, the state of the game? Maybe. It's a lovely smoke effect. I keep wondering if it ever changes or if it's always the same. It does not appear identical between shots, but I think that will be easier to tell in VR probably. We've already spent the state of the game. Usually I scroll through a campaign just looking at pictures and videos, and if I still care after that, I will actually read text, or if I want to know more, then maybe I look at too many campaigns. I don't know. More video. This one is for music, I guess. Some nice positional audio. That's one thing you can actually convey to people not in VR, as long as they have headphones on, which is really nice. It's very nice to watch VR streams with headphones, because you get the audio, the positional 3D audio, even if you're watching a stream. It seems a bit laggy. I don't know what my CPU is at, but I don't think it's my PC that's lagging. There's an i7 in this laptop. And a 1060. Nope, it's a gunship. I'm still wondering how this will feel, especially banking. I'm perfectly fine in a ship that keeps the horizontal flat. Maybe that could be an option, to have a non-banking vehicle. Non-banking and non-pitching. Apparently Vimeo's hating me today. I don't know why. Oh, batteries being consumed quickly. This is a laptop without any other GPU than the 1060, so it doesn't have a low power mode really. How many more minutes? 18 minutes? Still don't know. Oh! There we got it back. Jolt Cola! I had a friend in the past, I don't know what he does now, or where he is. He removed me from all social media, so I don't know if it's a friend anymore, but he called himself Mr. Jolt, due to Jolt Cola. Yep. That's a level of fanboying that's pretty deep. Orion. Yeah, this looks intense. I have played like VR games, space VR games with close quarters, mostly back in the dev kits. But then there was no definite down or up, just big frameworks or stuff like that. Question is, will it be different when I know there's an actual down? I don't know. The team, all familiar names. Legends in the VR industry. Did I even start recording? I think so. Yeah. How long has this gone for? Maybe this is obnoxiously boring. 30 minutes! Oh shit, I'm sorry. Oh, stop moving my cursor. Oh, at least she's following me with her head. That's nice. Almost no risk to use a backer. Multiple shift VR titles. Yep, yep, yep. So, ugh, 100 bucks is probably more than I ever spent on a game on Kickstarter, and I'm heavy on the Kickstarter fatigue, so I would probably go for the cheapest tier with the game, which I think is Technician. Yeah. Lo-fi game. Not sure. Is there one? What's the difference between this and the next one? Oh, Discord access, right. And then Oculus Home Key specifically? Oh, that's oh yeah, that's Technolust though. I should have read the entire line. Cyberpunk. Is this the soundtrack? I don't know what kind of formatting Kickstarter allows. Usually it will say all previous items as well as something new. Now I have to like compare all these to figure out what the what the actual difference is. Yeah. Some campaigns also has like a big grid with all the different backer levels and then check marks and stuff for whatever you get in every category. Which honestly, when I've seen them, I think like, this is pretty obvious. I don't need this. But in this case, I'm actually thinking that it would be useful because it's starting to become a big number of points in these lists. Obviously, that's the most overkill because it's the last tier, but 13,000 corporate overlord. At least the tiers exist. What exactly do you get for 13,000? That's always fun to read. In-game representation. Wow, okay. That's actually a custom asset. Sure, 13,000 is a fair amount of dosh, and obviously it would still generate in-game assets, so it still goes towards game development, so that's nice. Product placement. So you can get a company could get this and place their own banners, hopefully styled to match the theme. That's actually a very, very nice offering. Hopefully someone picks that up. That's pretty funny. Wait, product placement. Oh, that's an actual physical object, and then there's company advertisements, which I guess could be posters and billboards or neon signs. Friend for life. Well, I guess uh, I could skip switching out my car and buying an apartment, and maybe I can afford the corporate. No. That would be insane. I don't know if I realize the Swedish currency is pretty low. Let's check what it is. 13,000 CAD in SEK. That's almost 100k. Yep. That's a lot of money. Well, it's does any one of them? Oh, you're getting game representation already at 5k. Oh wait, you get it even cheaper. What? 2.5k for in-game. What is in-game representation? Is that a character or just like your portrait on a wall? Wait, in-game representation even at 450? What does it say? Wait. Okay, naming credits for 200. There's in-game representation. This is very interesting. Your name and likeness within the game's world as a minor part of the experience. So that could mean my face and my name on a gravestone, or on a bottle of vodka, or anything like that. Which is still neat. It would be freaky to find that item actually playing the game. Which is fairly fun, actually. Okay. So not the 3D model then. That would be interesting to have on the top tier though. But it would mean 3D scanning someone random, which is probably easier said than done. Having to ship someone off to a facility. Yeah, we'll see which tier is interesting. Obviously, getting my likeness inside a VR game would be. Oh shit! Would be new, so that's interesting. Okay, hopefully this has been not entirely useless, but somewhat helpful. Maybe even at all slightly helpful would be nice. But what is it? 38 minutes. Okay, laptop is dying, so I'm gonna stop recording unless so it won't break. Okay, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. If you did, bye bye.